In today's program, we're going to talk about strength through tough times. Everyone faces challenges and hardships at different points in life. But the most important thing is to continue to trust God in the midst of those storms. What seems terrible to us is nothing for the Lord, as He starts with the impossible. He has given us His word to encourage us during those trials as well. For example, in Psalms 41 and verse 1, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. It is so encouraging to know that when difficult times come, the Lord is your refuge and your strength. You can run to His arms for comfort and safety at all times. As He is always there for you, the phrase very present brings peace as well, because we don't have to wait for our turn to go to Him. God is always there for us when we need Him. Also in Isaiah 40:29, He gives power to the faint, and to him who has no mighty, He increases strength. If you have ever felt faint because of the situation you are in, you know the total weakness that overcomes to you at that moment. It is during that crucial time that the Lord comes in and strengthens you. He brings us renewed hope and stamina in order to continue in our life's journey. Even when we are at our lowest point, He lifts us up into His loving arms and restores us back to our normal situation. Jeremiah 16:19, O Lord, my strength and my stronghold, my refuge in days of trouble. Yeah, tough times are inevitable. The prophet Jeremiah shares with us this verse. He reminds us that God is our refuge and our stronghold, a strong tower that we can run to be safe. The Lord is also our source of strength, even when we feel overwhelmed by the trials and difficulties that we face. Your heart might be broken into pieces because of the anger or hatred that is in your heart, but God is our strength always. He gives us hope to collect the pieces and mold them into one big piece. And lastly, 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 10. And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to the eternal glory in Christ, will Himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. Suffering is a part of the human condition, and going through tough times also seems inevitable. However, the Apostle Peter reminds us that our trials are only for a little while. God is full of grace, and He will come to our rescue. He will also restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish us by His power if we submit to Him. It doesn't matter how much people have hurt you. It can take a long time to hold that bitterness, but one day God will heal you and give you courage, wisdom to forgive and have peace in your heart. God is always calling us to follow Him. In the good times, in the tough times, He has also given us His word to encourage and inspire us when the road gets hard, when people become merciless, when your heart is in pain. Like Paul writes in Colossians chapter 1, verse 11, may you be strengthened with all power according to His glorious mighty, for all endurance and patience with joy. So, even when we face the storms in our lives, in any circumstances, God will always strengthen us and give us the endurance and patience with joy that we need. And we become victorious when we remove the anger we have in our hearts, when we find a place in our hearts to forgive our enemies, to forgive those who hurt us in any situation. And that is the reward from God, that we should forgive and love those who hurt us. What a blessing.